Let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good. Billy Ray feeling good. Lewis, we've got to ask for a big favor today, folks. One of our favorite people that comes on all the time, they're all favorite, but this one is super special because his name is Tim Bost, and he does a lot of work on astrology. Well, Tim is under the weather, folks. He's in the hospital. I spoke to his wife this morning, and he's not in any danger now, but he's going to be in the hospital for a bit, so he'll come on as soon as he's recovered. So everybody send out some white light for the dude because he's really a nice guy. Hey, people that come on this show are all nice guys, or they don't get on the show. And speaking of nice guys, we've got someone from Florida for you today, folks. You may have heard of him, Norm Winsky of Astro Trends. He'll be coming in at 1:30 to talk to us. Now, all we're looking at today, folks, people have asked me about the stock market. I'm going to give you my 2 cents worth, okay? This is a New York Stock Exchange Index, all right? I wanted to show you. This was the high that we made on Thursday, the day the Federal Reserve told us that everything was okay and interest rates were going to be coming down a lot sooner than expected and not to worry. Well, by golly, look at this second arrow right here. Do you know what that second arrow is, folks? That means since that time on Thursday, and this is Tuesday, so we only had 3 days of trading. We had Friday, Monday, and today we have gone below that low of Thursday already. Now, on a real bullish market, that does not happen. So that's confirming that this is the high of the 10-week cycle that Stan Harley talked about when he was on the show. So, and also Jeff Hughes did exactly the same thing. So let's pay attention to that. Very, very important. Now, hopefully, tomorrow we'll have Jeff Hughes as our guest. And on Thursday, I'm pretty sure we're going to have John Person from Person and the Planet. And he's a really super fellow. And I met him way back in the 80s when we were trading on the floor of the exchange together. And he's a really a good technician. He really understands things, especially the Dow Jones Index. That was his specialty back in the day. So that's what we're watching here with this. Now, let me try to give you my 2 cents worth of the S&P 500, okay? Now, all I'm going to do now is to show you the last few days' action here so that you'll get a pretty good view of what's really happened. So let me get this up here, and this is basically a replay of the video that I sent out. I send out several videos now because they're so easy for me to send due to this program. It makes it really simple, but here is the chart, 15-minute chart over the last several days. You can see 5 days action in here. This was the high that we made the other day. If you remember, that was a high on Friday. All right, and then, Thursday, there was the high on Friday. That was right at the 78% retracement. Then we completed the A, B, C, D pattern right here. There was the 382 Sunday night that we sent the newsletter out, or the video out, saying we saw this coming, and we said we don't know what the low is going to be here, but whenever you see the first 382 retracement, to sell it and risk 15 points. So we got sold right here. It didn't go against us more than a point. And then we've come down and we said last night, look for another place to sell. There was your 382 retracement of that 382. And now we're breaking down right here. And this is when I sent the letter out, folks, the video out, because this was such a very, very key level. It said, I expect this level to be broken. And I'll tell you why. First of all, the larger ABCDs here on this measure a lot lower, down to 39.13. We've already broken this level since I prepared this chart for today. So we're down around 39.40. I thought we will probably get to 39.13. And at 39.13, we should have a little bit of a rally. But watch for any 382 rally, folks. Now, I'm looking for a big rally because, we had the big break. People are still bullish. So we should get a really good counter trend rally here, either today or tomorrow. And I'm just looking at probabilities. That's all. I recommend that everybody still stay short. I said, move your stop down to 39.72. That would lock in, 80 handles or $4,000. So I think that's good. And we're already, doing really well in the euro. Well over $1,200 in that, and well over $1,500 in the British pound. And of course, silver dropped more than $1 an ounce too. So those are all working out pretty good. They don't always do, but this is the time that we happen to get everything correctly. The second thing that's important about this is that we've now broken below 2 standard deviations in the Russell, folks. That is a really negative sign, especially after all that bullish news that we had, this past run. I mean, this is really something. So you've got to be able to, factor that in. Let me get this up here just to show you what that looks like, because we're really hammering this thing. And this was the update as of Sunday. And you can imagine, given the action that we had Sunday and Monday and then today, we've now broken below 2 standard deviations. And all we were able to do on this weekly chart here was make a 382 retracement. Now, it's a valid 382, and the reason why is you see this double bottom that is right here? This one was slightly lower than that one. That means the 382 has to be recalculated from the high down to the low, and there it is right there, and it stayed there. Even when the Fed was out there telling us everything was copacetic and it was going to be great, the indexes could not rally. They couldn't even take out the Wednesday high, let alone the Thursday high. So that's why when you're seeing what Basil calls bifurcation of the market, pay attention. So that's what you want to be watching here today as we're looking at some of these things going on. By the way, folks, if you have any questions, you can reach me at 877-927-6648. And what we'll do here is when we do come up with the break here in another minute, I want to spend a little time talking a tiny bit more about the crude oil market, because that's another market that is under a great deal of pressure after really bullish news that we got on Sunday, and then they tried to massage it on Monday, which nobody believed, and then we've had this huge break, and we're down, well over $10 a barrel here in the last, 38 hours of trading, which is very unusual, telling you that the market is, exceptionally weak. But I will bring the charts up for the heating oil, the gasoline, and the crude oil when we come up from the break, and then that'll be what our segment is going to be focusing on, that because that could be a major move, and we want to be prepared for it. And also, we want to watch a little bit about the gold market and silver market, but we've got to give that one more day, because it broke really hard, but not hard enough. We were only down about $6,000 in the silver, and I think it's got more to go to the downside, but that's something that we should cover when we get to this next segment that will be coming up shortly. By the way, our guest tomorrow will be Jeff Hughes of Alpha Insights, and then on Thursday, we should have John Person on. So we'll be right back, folks. 877-927-6648. Billy Ray Valentine from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 100 South Broad Street.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kegstat's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kegstat breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I'm going to start out with the gold and then go into silver. You notice we had this big run up, $120 from the low that we had down there at 1618. We were able to buy that at that level and take part of the money on the upside. Missed that, but we also are looking at the short side here after that top came in. Just like in the S&P, you made that little 382 here. Then we had a beautiful ABCD trade on this 15-minute chart that took 2 hours to make exactly at the 382. But today we missed it by about $3. You can see there's another perfect ABCD coming in off the high. But that means that that is still valid. So you want to be watching that for the next day, is to probably short that around $17.95 with about a $10 stop. Because if it's right, you're looking at a market that could have a 6-to-1 payoff to the downside. That's what we're looking at, of course, in the silver. Now, the next one we want to look at, that's gold, boys and girls. Let's get to the silver here right now. I'm going to show you 2 charts of silver. The first one here is the daily chart, and I want to get this up here. Hold on 1 second, and we'll get it right in here. And there's where we are. Okay, there's where we are in the silver. You'll see we had the nice run up. This was the 1.618 expansion of this whole move right here. Hit it to the within 4 cents of the exact high, and it's broken about $1.10 since that level. But the price objective on this will be not much lower than where we are right now, folks. We're looking to buy it at the 50% level because we're a tiny bit below the 382 right now. So I would be looking to buy it right here. The reason why we're using 382 here is because this has taken a really long time to complete. That means it should have a stronger move to the downside. It should equal the downside that we have right here. So if you add that to that, that tells us that silver could get right about here. Okay, now that's the 382 of the whole move down here. So we're going to live by the sword, die by the sword, and the sword is 382. And boys and girls, I can tell you with a great deal of confidence, that little puppy is a sharp son of a gun. So don't try to catch that one because it'll cut you. It's a really good thing to trade. All you got to do is do one thing, as Curly said from City Slickers. Put the stop in, Bubba. Put the stop in. That's the main thing that you got to do because you don't know what's going to happen next, and you never will know that. But that doesn't stop you from trading, does it, boys and girls? Of course it doesn't. We know that. Now let's go back here and talk just a little bit about the heating oil, because this is really super, super important from my perspective. I want to get this up here. Hold on here a second here. We'll get this right here. Here we go. And there's where we are. Look where we're here, folks. We had this perfect, look at this. Perfect, absolutely beautiful Gartley pattern setting there perfectly. What did it do? It gapped down, and it headed towards the April, where we had negative $20 oil because that dude in Singapore had no place to put the oil. The far out contracts, you couldn't even get them. They wouldn't even, people out there, they were showing prices, but to try to buy one, it was really difficult. Then it started up. We didn't even get a 382 through here. Of course, this is a change of contract, so that's just a data problem because I don't follow it too much. But here's where we are. You can see these big ABCDs that are forming right now in the oil. That's telling you, boys and girls, that it looks like we're going to go a whole lot lower. We started to see that in crude oil yesterday, and now you're seeing it big time in heating oil. You're also seeing it, big time, in the gasoline too, because it's doing the same thing. It's giving up the ghost, just like the rest of it is. But look at the action here in the heating oil market from yesterday, and I'll show you here. You'll take a look at it. You'll see how it's breaking down sharply, below the 61% retracement right here. Mark that, and that stopped below it last night, telling you we still got more to go to the downside. So that tells us that we're looking at something a lot lower. And looking at this, you'll see you have the giant A, B, C, and D, and that's going to take it down to the bottom end of this chart, down in this area right here, where we should get some type of a bounce in the heating oil. I'm saying this because we're counter-seasonal, folks. To realize that winter does not come until December 22nd, folks, 3 days before Santa. So we're starting, we have cold weather here in Tucson. We got 39 degrees a couple times last week. And so it's, and we have snow in the mountains. So there's a lot of stuff going on, that is very, very important to remember that this is a seasonal trade. Now, seasonal trades, I know what they are, but I'm a pattern trader, folks. When the pattern lines up and it lines up with the seasonal, yeah, I'll take a look at it. But if I have to trade it seasonal alone, I'd have a real difficult time. Because when you do that, you've got to risk so doggone much that it's not nearly as much fun as you'd like to think. That's for sure. Okay? Now, we were fortunate enough that one of our friends over in the UK was kind enough to send us the ETF for the oil market. And I'll bring this up to you right now. This is the USO, very, very popular. I think it trades a lot each day, and it's used as a hedge against oil a lot. And you can see now that we are still right at the 61% retracement on this ETF. But be really careful, folks. Now the real one is below that. We've already showed you. Now this happens to be, that's all part of the whole thing of the USO. But remember, oil you have heating oil, and then you have gasoline. So it's all part of that is in this. So this is telling you that more weakness is coming. Now, how much? It could be like the dollar index. It could do a little 1 or 2 day fake out and then turn. And that's what happened, with the euro, the pound, and the all the others, along with the dollar index starting to go a little bit higher. So I hope those are the things that you can make some sense out of as you go through this. But the main thing to take away today before we have Norm on the thing is the fact that we have broken down below 2 standard deviations in the Russell. We've broken down 1 standard deviation in the E-mini S&P. We're going below the lows of Thursday and Friday, which were the 2 of the busiest and most positive days of the year, which they certainly were, but they're not anymore. So that's the main thing. That's what's happening as we look at this. I'll end this by showing you what I think we're going to be looking at here in the E-mini S&P here in the next day or two, maybe even today, because we're down quite a bit. You can see the ABCDs. Now, all I did was I looked at the big ABCD. There's where we were on Thursday, making the big ABCD. Went a little bit higher there. Friday or Sunday, couldn't make a higher high at the 786, and then we started down. There was your first 382 right here, Remember, this is an hourly chart, so it's quite a bit. And now you can see boom, 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 and boom, and there you are, where you are right now. Boy, it makes it pretty. And we've taken out all these lows now, folks. This is the what you call the I guess the Chairman Powell cheerleading section came in here saying that everything was really good, and by golly, look what happens. I think they learned this at some school like Columbia or Harvard or something on how to get everybody buying. Got to buy them when they're crying and sell them when they're yelling. That's what they used to say on the floor of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and they still do, but there's no floor. Stay tuned for the man himself, Norm Winsky of Astro Trends.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Can't find the son of a bitch. I think we have Norm Winsky as our guest today. Norm, are you in the house?
Yes, sir, Larry. Thanks for having me on your show.
You're welcome. A happy Hanukkah to you, my friend, and a happy Merry Christmas and New Year's. We'll have you on again, of course, before then, but tell us what you're looking at today, my friend.
All right. Hopefully everybody can see my notes. When I was last on your show, I believe that was the 21st of November, I showed you that we had 7 points to looking at, 7 events. We had a 3-event cluster for the night of the 18th. That was over that weekend. The 21st was a Monday, and we're going to review those in a moment. We had we had Uranus to the U.S. chart, had a Mercury aphelion, and we had Venus 0 south latitude over that weekend for the 21st. Then for the weekend of the 18th into the 21st. Then we had a 3-event cluster again, over the Thanksgiving holiday. That was the night of the 23rd into the 24th, 25th. And that was, we had a new moon in the sign of Sagittarius. And anytime we have that, we financials, greens, precious metals. And then we had the moon's north node to the U.S. chart. That's your stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. And then Jupiter was changing signs in Pisces. Oh, no, I take that back. Jupiter in Pisces turned direct the night of the 23rd, right with the new moon. That's pretty powerful stuff. And that's oil. Pisces is oil. And then we had Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, so that's a double whammy over the weekend of December the 2nd, so just a few days ago. Okay, so now we're going to review these. We had, there we go. You might want to take a screenshot of those, and now we'll move ahead. So we had 2 points for corn here. We had the moon and the Mercury aphelion. Mercury is grains, and also the moon. And so Mercury at aphelion, that's going to be corn. So you had a little short-term top there and another short-term top there. And so those are 2 winners for corn. On beans, we went 50-50. We have to be right within 1 day. And that did not work so well on this one, on the first one, but on the 21st. But then you did get a little short-term top there on that and a nice drop there. So you went 50-50 on the beans. Here's wheat kind of going sideways, so we take a pass there. If it's going sideways, we do nothing. Here's an example of one that it looks pretty good in terms of opportunity. Up, right into our window with, I think that was a Venus thing there. And yeah, Venus latitude, Venus is cattle. And you made a nice top there and then a nice drop. And here you go, cotton, not as friendly. If you bought there on the down, it didn't bounce enough to really make any money. So that's a loser. You probably would have had a small loss. Here's sugar on our Venus point there into the opening. We looked at trade on AC or after close. Looked at trade on the next day's opening, and that's right up against this little top here. And then the sugar went down, so that's a winner. And here's copper into the same window. It's also Venus. Has a Venus affiliation. And so you made a low there, and then you had a little gradual rally, so you could have made a little bit of money there. And here's silver making a short-term top on the moon, the Thanksgiving moon. And it was a new moon, right? New moon. And here's the gold. Okay, we had Mercury aphelion. Aphelion refers to the sun, Mercury's relationship to the sun. And this gold is sunny, it's golden. And so that has a solar connection. But that did not work so well this time. But over here, you made a little short-term top here and a drop for a little 1 day drop there, 1 to 2 day drop. So you had a chance to make a small amount of money there. Here's crude oil. We came close to this low here. We were just a day ahead, and then it dropped. We're okay if we're within it 1 day. And there we go. So there we made a low there. And so if you held on for a couple of days, you would have been a happy camper. There we go. Here's S&P going kind of sideways, so we did nothing there on our first window. Second window was just after the Thanksgiving holiday, and as you might remember, we had a pretty nice top there and a sharp drop for a couple of days after that. And here's the bonds. They want to go sideways on our first window there for the U.S. We use the U.S. chart, one of our indicators for the bonds, and we had that there, and it just went sideways. But when we got there, then it didn't really go against us much, but it didn't go for us either. So we have to count those 2 points as misses. Here's the U.S. dollar, though. We did a lot better than the dollar. We had all our pistons were working on this one. We had the 21st little top there, and then we had the moon there and another point there for a low, and so it rallied, and we had a chance to make some money. Here's the moon for the Aussie dollar, a little short-term top there. Here's a British pound, short-term top there on the moon. Here's the Canadian dollar, rallied into the moon, made a nice short-term top there and a big drop. Here's the euro, made a little short-term top there, and then 2 days later, it's going down. And the yen went nowhere, so that's a miss. And then we got one more. The Swiss franc made a little top there on the moon and then down. Here, add up the green arrows, the red arrows, you got 20 winners, 6 misses out of 26 for 76.92%. Here's what's coming up. Here's what's for this week. All right, we had Monday night. We had that was the 5th, that was yesterday. We had Jupiter lining up with Saturn by latitude. And all these things, by the way, are potentially the stock market. And the stock market is not holding this morning's low, so good chance it'll keep going. The coffee did. If you look at your coffee chart, I just looked at it before we went on the air. All these charts were done last night, but the coffee did move up a little bit today, so that's a potential winner. Not definite yet. Probably need another day to see what happens. And the copper is kind of going sideways here, as when I looked at it a little while ago. All right, so that's the, and then then we got the big thing coming up here is tomorrow night, the full moon in the sign of Gemini, and this is an extra special full moon. Anytime we have a new moon, full moon, we want to be looking at financials, grains, and precious metals. Now, this is a special moon. I'm going to read this right off. I got this off the internet. We got a full moon, and it's going to be near Mars, which is, you may know that Mars right now is in Gemini, and it's going retrograde by geocentric motion, in other words, from the point of view of the Earth. So the precise moment of the full moon tomorrow night will be 11:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or you folks overseas, that's 4:08 GMT or Universal Time AM on the 8th. And over the evening, as the moon moves past Mars, it will pass in front of the red planet for much of North America and Europe. This is known as an occultation, or it's like an eclipse, as the moon covers up or eclipses Mars. So then around 1 a.m. Eastern, we're Eastern time, for you don't know, is -5 hours from GMT or Universal Time.
Hey, some bells. We have a question coming in, Norm, when you get a chance. We'll be right back with Norm Winsky, folks.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, we're back, folks. We're speaking with Norm Winsky of AstroTrends. Norm, I have a question. Can you explain more about this occultation of the moon? I don't know what that is, and how often does it happen?
If you just let me finish, then we can answer questions. Okay?
You got it.
I got interrupted by the commercial there. You know. So occultation just means it's hidden. Moon is gonna go in front of Mars, so you won't be able to see Mars. That's it. It's like an eclipse. I'm sure you've seen an eclipse, right?
Yes, sir. I have. Thank you very much. How often do these occur?
What's that?
How often do they occur?
Not that sort of thing. Not very often.
Okay, well, that's close enough for me.
I read not very often with the planets. But anyway, let's just finish because this is pretty neat. So Mars is going to be opposite at the same night that we have the full moon. Mars will be opposite, I believe, the sun from the point of view of the Earth, and so it's all going to line up. This is in the wee hours of the 8th. Mars will reach opposition, and during the opposition, the Sun, Earth, and Mars will form a line with Earth in the middle. Okay?
Wow.
Now, did you have any questions?
Yeah, what's going to happen?
That's a pretty powerful lineup there.
You got that right.
We should be getting a pretty big move in the market here between now and tomorrow night. And the ideal, I like to see extremes. So I don't know if your 39.13 is going to hold. I just took a look. I think we're in the 39.30s now. So that target may be too close. I don't know.
I'm certainly aware of that.
What's that? Do you have another target?
I'm certainly aware of that. Yep.
Do you have a lower target than 39.30?
Oh, yes. My lower target's much, much lower, around 2100. So I don't know if it's going to get there, but I'm very bearish.
You know what I mean, Larry. Not
yes, I understand. I think we could hit 3,900 on this without any trouble at all.
All right. Well, anyway, so looking for a possible turn late Tuesday, early Wednesday. Okay. If we have it'd be better if it goes down into that window because it'll be more oversold. Obviously, if we reverse here and have a big rally tomorrow, then that's not as ideal because then you're not really overbought or oversold that much, you know. So it's Newton's law for every action is the opposite equal reaction. So the more extreme it is, the bigger the potential reaction.
Okay.
So anyway, any questions on that? Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. You certainly did perfectly. I appreciate it.
Okay. I love doing it. All right, here we go. For those of you who don't know, I've been doing this a long time now, along with Larry, but get kind of close, I guess. Pushing 50 years or so. I was a Chicago floor trader for 12 years. Started there in 1975, right out of college there, good old Indiana State in Terre Haute. Moved to Chicago within a week after finishing school. And I was a member and market maker there. And in 1975 for 12 years, started there when I was only 24 years old.
Wow.
All right, so that's it. So I have a little bit of experience. I studied all this stuff, Elliott wave, GAN, all the different cycles, harmonics, have a musical background, you name it, Fibonacci, so forth. I teach a lot of this stuff, and I think my talent is I take a lot of this complicated stuff and make it simple. By the way, I know this astrology stuff looks complicated, but I'm able to bring it down to a grade school level. So if you'd like to learn this stuff, I think I can help you.
Can you break it down to St. Benedict's level?
I wouldn't know anything about St. Benedict's, Larry.
Don't you? You lived in Terre Haute. You have to know St. Benedict's Catholic Church is the biggest Catholic church in the whole city.
Well, I'm not Catholic, so there you go.
Well, I know, but even Jewish people have to go to church once in a while. So you had to drive by it once anyway.
No, I went to the.
I have a question.
I went to the synagogue there a couple times. Go ahead.
I have been there too. Norm, the question that I have is, how do you break down Elliott wave so that people can understand? I get that question all the time. Is why don't I count these subwaves?
I studied Elliott wave for many years. I met Bob Proctor back in 1979 when he was just getting started.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, I realized that Elliott wave, I'm not a big fan. It's way down my list of things I look at. I thought if we don't go too much lower here, I think longer term, we still have a chance for the S&P to get back to 4155, which would be a 50% retracement of the whole bear market that we've had. And that would be a classic wave 4 type price action, because that often occurs in wave 4. And I was under the impression up till the last day or so that that's where we were at. We were possibly in a wave 4. If that were to occur, then we should turn. If it stops there, then we would turn lower and go to a new bear market low, because then we'd be in wave 5. That could get you down to maybe about between 3,000 and 3,200 area,
Okay. Now, one other question I have, and if you'd be kind enough to repeat it, the importance of these next 2 days regarding this full moon that we've got. Could you repeat that section? Someone's asked.
Yeah, well, you have a full moon, and you got the Mars and the Earth and everything all lined up there, like a 3-4 way line up there. The Sun, Earth, Sun, and Mars, all line up on the night of the 7th into the wee hours of the 8th. So I would be expecting some kind of turn there. We want to see the market get to some sort of extreme. If it ends up going sideways, that's a no-go, which is what we had on the Neptune retrograde over the 2nd for the S&P. We ended up, unfortunately, I knew that was a big point, but the setup was not good. And so under my system, didn't do anything. Let's see the S&P chart back here. Right there, I had had a pass here for the weekend of the 2nd into Monday, the 5th, because our high was over here. So it was a no go for the S&P. You might have done it anyway, but under my rules, we took a pass on that. Had to take a pass on that. So anyway, here's how to get a hold of me. Let's see, we got if you want to call me, I'll happy to answer your questions. Send you today's notes, whatever you like, and we can get you started in a very short amount of time. Here you go. I'm in beautiful Naples, Florida, 239-594-3939. Here's my email, Winsky at EMBARQMAIL.com, or you can call me on Skype at NWINSK_1. Looking forward to helping some of your folks, Larry.
Norm, thank you very much, my friend. You did a great job, and we'll have you on again soon. And be safe. And Shana Tova.
Thank you, sir.
You bet, my friend. See you later. Norm Winsky, folks, of Astro Trends from Terre Haute. Actually, he's from Franklin, Indiana, I believe, but he went to school in Terre Haute, my hometown. Now, folks, I have posted the chart of the E-mini S&P going back to the low of October 13th. And as you can see here, we've had this big run up, and I posted the 382 retracement in there. And when we get back, and if we get back from the commercial that we're getting ready to have here at TFNN, I want to talk more about this because I think it's going to be very, very important.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years, with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, I've posted the chart of the E-mini S&P up here from the low of October 13th. And as you can see here, the 382 retracement comes in here, about another 50 or 60 handles down there at 38.75. And that's also going to be down 2 standard deviations. And if we go below 38.75, folks, we're going to take out that low of October the 13th a lot faster than people might think. Now, I've had a question here about Fibonacci numbers and why I like them and stuff. I think the best way to talk about that would be to show the price of silver here that we were looking at. This is the chart that we did on Sunday for the newsletter. And you'll notice here that we had this 382 retracement there. I don't know what you mean by that, Al. I'm sorry that the chart didn't go through. I did it normally. But I hope the silver chart is posting here. I do it the same way every time, folks. If it doesn't go through, that's over my pay grade. I can't figure it out. But this is the silver chart. And as you know, it's not quite at the 61% retracement yet. That's why you blow it up and you get ready to see if it's going to get to that 0.618 retracement. And I posted that chart a little bit earlier and showing you that that's what we did. So as that happens, that's when your trade setup starts to come up. Because if you go down to the microscopic level, you can see whether you're right or not. And that's where the whole ball game begins, because it's risk control. I don't know which one of these patterns is going to work. All I know is I know when I'm wrong. And that's an important thing to know, is that you got to know when you're wrong. You know, let's go back. Never mind. I'm not going to get into that. But if you remember that, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you don't lose. So always focus on how much money you have at risk. That's the real ball game, folks. The rest of it is, really not very much at all. So remember to live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.